Limit is y goes to 3 of 1 over 3 minus 1 over 3 minus y. The first thing we're going to do is try plugging a 3 in for each of the y's. In the numerator, that'll give me 1 over 3 minus 1 over 3. In the denominator, that'll give me 3 minus 3. In the numerator, 1 over 3 minus 1 over 3 is a 0. In the denominator, 3 minus 3 is also a 0. We have the 0 over 0 indeterminate form. Since we have fractions combining with each other, we're going to try the common denominator method to rework this. In the numerator, I have two fractions. One that has a denominator of 3 and one has a denominator of a y. The common denominator will be 3 times y. I'm going to multiply the first one by y over y and the second one by 3 over 3, forms of 1, so we do not change the value, just the form. In the denominator, we're going to leave the 3 minus y alone. In the numerator, multiplying 1 times y and 3 times y, minus multiplying 1 times 3 and y times 3, will produce the common denominator between those two terms, in which case we can now subtract those two terms. Y minus 3, we subtract the numerators, and the whole thing is over the common denominator. And then all of this over 3 minus y. This does not remove the 0 over 0 just yet. We still need to cancel the factors that are making the zeros. But before we can do that, we have a fraction within an overall fraction. We're going to want to reciprocate and multiply. Let's write this denominator over 1 so that we can reciprocate it and multiply it with the numerator. That will be our next step. We have the numerator. We have the reciprocal of the denominator. We're going to multiply those with each other. We can multiply the numerators first. Limit is y goes to 3. Numerator of y minus 3 times 1 will be y minus 3. Over the denominators, we'll multiply second. That'll be 3y times 3 minus y. We can see the two factors that are making the 0 over 0. It's the y minus 3 and the 3 minus y. But they don't cancel just yet. We need to factor a negative out of one of the two. I will factor a negative out of the one in the numerator. It's just less complicated looking, so factoring a negative out of there, that'll change the signs of the 3 and the y to be opposite of what they were. And then the denominator is left alone. And now we can cancel those factors that are making the 0 over 0. Cancel those out. That'll leave a 1 here in the numerator. And we'll then have a negative 1 over 3 times y. We can now plug the 3 in for the y now that we've removed the 0 over 0. We have negative 1 over 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. We end up with negative 1 over 9.